Hello there guys, what's up? Welcome to Herocross Gaming, and today is episode 1 of the Level Up podcast. Got my guest here today, fellow friend and YouTuber, The Gamer Zam.
Hey, what's going on?
Alright, let's delve into it, shall we? Okay, so we have quite a few subjects to talk about, and the first one is the brand new PlayStation 4 update. Zam, would you care to tell us more about it, as you know more about it than I do?
So the new update released today for PS4 called PS4 4.0 update. So basically what it's done is that it's given the whole user interface a more refreshed, refined look, as well as include a few new cool features that are actually really useful. So now when you're just browsing through your library of games, you can actually place them into folders. If you're having trouble naming your folders, you got your PS Plus monthly games, so you can just chuck them all into one folder. You can also sort out the games in a specific order as well within that folder. There's also now when you're playing your games and you hold the PS button or you press the share button to bring up another menu, now what happens is that it kind of cuts into the game's footage, so it's a lot more cleaner and quicker, I would say. Plus you can sort it out a lot more as well, so you can put certain things above different ones if you're using one or the other a lot more. Yeah, that's pretty much the update. I mean, there's loads of other things as well, like you can upload now 140 seconds to Twitter, as well as increase the video clip recording time, which is what you told me Herocross, was it up to 60 minutes now, right?
Up to 60 minutes, yes, that's amazing, and I'll try to not sound like a broadcaster in future, but yeah, that's the general consensus. So what you're saying is basically it's a much cleaner typeface, a much cleaner layout, a much cleaner system, so to speak, just eradicating the clutter that they had on the system previously, not taking up too much space. I believe you told me that the SharePlay also picks up quicker. When you press it, it responds a lot quicker than it used to, so that's also positive.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's just a much more smoother experience rather than what it was before. So yeah, it just works out really nicely for the console.
Yeah, I'd say this is definitely. I don't know about you, but I think we're both in agreement here that this is definitely a positive towards PlayStation. This is definitely a kick in the nuts to Microsoft, I'd say. They're going to Dick Kick City today. But that's probably one of the... I love that phrase, Dick Kick City. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll get the reference. But it's still funny, going into the octagon of... yeah, Rocket League has had some recent updates, brand new gaming updates.
Oh yeah, the new Rumble feature now.
Brand new Rumble feature. Yeah, definitely the brand new Rumble feature. They've incorporated more games like Worms 3D. A lot of YouTubers are now being featured, like their flags and their channel logos and stuff. It's really interesting stuff. If you haven't checked out Rocket League, they don't pay me to plug this, by the way. It's actually a really good game. So check it out if you can. I don't do paid promotion. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He said whilst holding his. I don't know. What haven't they paid me for yet? This unspecified bottle of diet soda. I won't tell you the brand. But yeah, it does seem to be a pretty sweet update, and hopefully they'll add more to it in due course if this is what Sony are planning for the future. My god, that's one hell of a slap in the face to the gaming industry. But definitely I would say definitely for YouTubers like Twitch streamers and stuff like that will definitely benefit from a longer period of being able to record. And hopefully YouTube will be able to claw back some of their viewership after their recent... if you've listened to my pilot episode, you'll know about YouTube and the problems that they've been facing and the scrutiny they've been hit with.
The policy changes and stuff. A lot of
the
YouTubers
policy
getting
changes.
shut down, videos getting taken down. Oof.
Yeah, it's crazy. Really big YouTubers, guys like Angry Joe, Boogie2988, Siggers, for example, just to name a few YouTubers. I'm mainly listing off YouTubers.
It's like a lot of swearing, isn't it? Like if you swear too much, then it picks up, and then
it's
like,
one of several things. It's one of several things. It's either gratuitous swearing, sexual references, things you're alluding to, such as rape, suicide, drugs, anything that they deem not ad friendly.
I think the main reason for why they don't want their products associated with certain YouTubers is because of the language and stuff, but before that wasn't a problem, so I'm not sure why it's a problem now. Also, like, you get those music channels and stuff where they post some really raunchy, risque stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Then they put their products beside them, and I'm just struggling to see the difference between those YouTubers and the music channels. Like, what is it? Just because they're like proper celebrities and not YouTube celebrities? If that's even a thing.
The thing is with YouTubers in general, like such as ourselves, it gets a bad rep because a lot of people don't take it as serious. Some people take it more seriously than others. Some people, it's a way of life. I mean, guys like PewDiePie and Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, they do that for a living. They have managed to turn their hobby into a career, which is amazing to say. With ads and paid promotions, and obviously with Patreon and stuff like that, now you can now get your stuff out there and to a wider audience. I once saw, you may remember a few years ago, there was I think there was a tsunami. It might have been in Thailand. It was quite a few years ago. The advert that
Yeah.
I was checking it up on a news report. I won't say which station, but I was checking it out on YouTube, and the advert that played before it, I'm telling you the complete truth here. It was an advert for Jamaica, a holiday advert, and it was a man riding a giant tidal wave on a
What the hell?
surfboard.
And that was on like a tsunami breaking news update.
That was
That
the
was on one of
advert
those
that played before the video, and I was just like, "You want to tell me about
Oh,
context? You want to tell me about context?"
oh dear.
I know, but
That's not good.
it was
Might just
really
be a
bad.
coincidence.
It probably was, but you'd think if ads were that concerned about being more advertiser friendly, you'd think they'd actually think, you know what, maybe we shouldn't put
Yeah,
this advert in
exactly.
front. And that's what people go back to
Yeah,
the whole YouTube
double
copyright
standard.
thing. When you've got a robot that's in charge of these videos, it doesn't deem what's fair and what's not fair, and it creates problems. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely would agree. I mean, I'm still, I filed my copyright claim for one of my videos recently, and it should be coming up towards 30 days. Still no response. If it doesn't go back up, I mean, if they don't remove the copyright claim, which is false, I'll just re-upload the video and make some changes. Because it was about the new Resi 7 trailer, the lantern
I
lady,
remember.
whatever her name is.
Available on The Gamer Zam, your official YouTube channel. Cheap plug there for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, buddy.
Cheap plug.
Hashtag cheap
But yeah,
plugs.
I don't even know why that got flagged. I think it's where I put some Resi 4 footage into it, and obviously they're speaking in their language, and then I think that must have just got picked up as like, oh yeah, we're gonna definitely, copyright the crap out of this. So
Yeah, because I remember you saying a while
hopefully we'll
back that
get
there
this
was actually a bunch of fake accounts that are claiming that it's their content, so it gets taken down
Yeah,
and they get the royalties from it. It's disgusting. It really is.
I mean, yeah, that is annoying, but not as annoying as, people begging for subs. I'm sure you're aware of.
Oh, Lordy, have mercy. Okay, funny enough you should say that because that leads into our next subsection, the YouTube rants. The Roadman rants. I didn't know what a Roadman was till I watched those videos, and once I understood what I didn't know because I'm not from the hood, so I didn't know what a Roadman was until afterwards. And then I listened to it, and I was just like, this guy. And I'm not saying just because you're my friend. Like, this guy has nailed it right on the head. For those who haven't seen it, I'll leave a link to the video in the description. I'll leave a link to the video in the description below.
Yeah, it's very heavy on British
It
slang,
really
though.
is. It's if you're not from the UK, so if
It
you're
might
from
be a
like
bit difficult to
if you're from
understand.
Uganda or something, I don't know. It's best to check it out if you can, and if you can decipher the language, maybe Urban Dictionary might help you.
Yeah.
It's really good view on YouTubers that basically beg for comments, likes, and subs. Fair enough when you're a really small channel when you start off, then and once in a while, I think your point was you don't mind it as much. But when there's some people that are doing
Yeah,
it
not
for
as
like
much.
they have like 30, 40, 50, hell even maybe 100,000 subscribers, and they're saying, "Oh, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe." It just felt like they're insulting their intelligence because people aren't
Yeah,
stupid.
I mean, they're not vegetables. No, exactly. They're not vegetables. Like, I mean, we can give them a quick non-slang version here. I mean, it's alright for the youngers to do it, like, as in, the younger YouTubers. We're talking about like 12 and beyond, or maybe even before that. So I'm not sure how old they need to be to start a YouTube channel, so yeah, I'll leave that out there. I mean, there was
Nice.
other things I spoke about in the video as well, but that's pretty much the main one that stood out. Because it
Yeah, it
is really
was.
annoying. I mean, when you go into a video, sorry to cut you off. When you just go into a video and like before they get into it, it's like, please, could you sub? It's like, oh man.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are some channels, I won't name them, but there are some channels that within the first minute or so, it's like, oh, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's like I've just watched the video. I don't have ADD. No offense to anyone that does, but I don't.
Yeah.
And it's this thing that this mindset that okay, people are watching your content more than others, and it was something that you said that I want to just reiterate, and you mentioned it with YouTube. You're kind of in a blessed position. Like, you don't have to do it. There are
Oh yeah.
people, like, starving that don't even have clothes and food, and yet these people are begging for subs like a child begging for food. It just doesn't feel right. Maybe it's an
Yeah. That's
extremity. I
what I
don't know if
think.
I'm reading too much into that, but
Yeah, I think like with the younger audience, I think it's like those Instagram posts and stuff. It's like a game, so you can get the most amount of subs. But obviously, subs doesn't normally correspond to views.
no,
I mean, it
because
does increase your sort of following, but not your views, though.
as you know, if you follow the YouTube analytics and you actually do the research there, you'll find that most of any money that you get, like, because most people monetize their content if they can, like, a form of digital marketing. the
Of course.
monetization process, it's based on who's watching, how long they're watching, and where they're watching.
Yeah, because some subs are not even active. They just sort of leave a, sub and then that's it. They'll never see your videos ever again, or they won't see it pop up in their notifications or their their playlist feed when their YouTubers start uploading like new content and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
there's
just
their
inactive
feed.
subs.
Their feed is empty. Like it's empty like Kanye West's bank account. It's really bad. Like, oh, that man's claiming poverty. Don't
Uh,
lie. Don't lie. We all know it. Like
so
he asked Mark Zuckerberg for like $1 billion or something like that, like a loan or something, like $5 billion or 500 million or something like that.
oh yeah, it's to
Man needs
fund
money.
something like this.
The man needs money. Make Kanye great again. Make Kanye great again. Keep this up.
Give him his money.
He
Give
needs
him
it.
his $1 billion.
So I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. Okay, moving on to our next section of the agenda is the brand new PlayStation Pro. I covered this on my channel on one of my previous videos was a pilot, and I kind of went into the specs of this, so I'm not going to run down the specifications. But I know, Zam, you were keen to say a few things on the PlayStation Pro, and here's your chance to say it, man. Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to make a separate video, but seeing as I'm joined by Heracross Gaming, I think, we can both cover it. I mean, the PS4 Pro, I'm not quite sure who it's aimed for. I mean, it's just trying to fill a gap in the market that just doesn't exist. It's not real 4K. I mean, for £350, that's how much it's retailing for in the UK. That's not real 4K. They said they're going to use like cheating techniques and it's more upscaling. It's not native true 4K. And if this is for tech fanatics, there's PC gaming there. You can't defeat PC gaming. I mean, gaming consoles cannot defeat PCs. It's ridiculous because PC can just swap everything out. Sky's the limit. I really don't understand who the PS4 Pro is for. It might be for people that have yet to adopt this generation of game consoles. They don't have a PC, but they've got a 4K television. Then, okay, yeah, PS4 Pro would be acceptable to buy there. I mean, there's obviously the PS4 Slim, but that's just, it's here to replace the current PS4. In all honesty, that's pretty much what it's there for, isn't it?
It does seem to be that way. It's
Yeah.
as someone once said with the latest thing, it seems to be aimed at people, yeah, that have maybe 4K TVs, even though, as you say, it's not actually 4K. They're going to use cheating techniques,
Yeah,
and you
it's
feel bad for
upscaling.
Sony. To be honest, I would rather Sony continue their and I'm not saying this just because I have a PlayStation 4, but just as a general fan, that I wish they would continue their work on the games rather than having to just worry about, okay, we need to try and compete with PC gaming. Because as you said, they will never compete with PC gaming. There's a
No,
reason why
it's
they've
ridiculous.
adopted the name the Master Race, and I know I've gone into that before, and I did receive quite a few comments, and they had their point. They were
Yeah.
right to an extent. The idea of the Master Race is an exaggerated name to
Oh
basically
yeah, it's
say
just satirical
we are,
heavy.
yeah, and that was what I was trying to do with my content. I was trying to like take that idea to the nth degree, and obviously some people didn't get what I was trying to do, and it got lost in the fold, and it's understandable. But I do understand what you're saying. I personally, or both of us, we both own a PlayStation 4, and I'm really happy with my setup. You're really happy with your setup, so
Yeah. There's no need for a PS4 Pro. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like when you see those BMWs out on the street, just standard 3 Series, and then they start putting, a mass of M badges and go faster stripes or whatever on it. It's not going to be an M powered vehicle. Just go and buy an M3. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much the same case. You got a PS4 Pro, which is trying to be a PC.
yeah, it's like
That can
as you
run
say,
4K
it's
essentially.
it's like straps on a toy car. It's not going to go any faster. It's just
Yeah, no,
you know,
exactly.
and a
I
lot of
mean,
people saying
4K
this.
is a niche.
But as we've said before, with a 1 terabyte hard drive, I don't know if that's going to be sufficient to run the power of 4K. It might, but we don't know what the if it's going to hold up. We know the specs, but we don't know if they'll hold up because, as you know,
Yeah, I mean,
previously with
personally, yes.
with Sony, with Microsoft, even with Nintendo at times, the specs that they claim doesn't mean they will actually deliver.
No, but
It's
I'm not
always
going
that.
to respect myself. I mean, this is just for more, people that have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
First-hand knowledge.
I tried to a few years ago. I tried to delve into PC gaming to actually give it a shot, and it is really really good. I couldn't compete with graphics cards like the new graphics chip. There are some people that will buy a new graphics chip when it comes out just so they can play like the latest games. That's
Yeah,
what I said. With console gaming, it's easier, it's more familiar, it's relatable. I understand it. Both of us, we grew up with consoles. I think most people did. We maybe had a PC like towards the tail end of the 90s, I would say. and we had like
Yeah.
mostly consoles, if that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just what I'm familiar with, and I'm sure what you're familiar with. But at the same time, I know for a fact that PC gaming is awesome because if you can run an emulator or something, it's a good substitute. Okay, Zam, let's finish this up with talking about everyone's favorite video game they're looking forward to: Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I gotta be honest, dude, I'm not sure what to make of this. It's a game that's almost like trying to make three different versions of itself. It's trying to be like Destiny, Killzone, and Battlefield. It's trying to be a part of all those things, but I'm not really a big Call of Duty fan, so what do you make of it?
I mean, I have no, I'm not, I'm not interested at all in Infinite Warfare. I mean, I'm more interested in the COD 4 remaster, which they're sort of holding hostage unless you buy, the Infinite Warfare collected edition and stuff like that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, but you did mention that they might, and you're pretty sure of this, that eventually they'll have a digital release of the Modern Warfare.
There's a lot of people that are holding out. I mean, who's going to spend 80 quid just to get, Modern Warfare remaster? I mean,
Exactly.
no one in their right mind would.
No, there
So I
are some
think
people that I
they're gonna
think
release it.
will play it because they're like, well, I bought the game, so I'm going to play Infinite Warfare, and I think it will have some sort of following to an extent. But I don't think
Oh
I
yeah,
think
definitely.
definitely the Modern Warfare era, as I call it. As most people know, I'm not a Call of Duty aficionado. I only played Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that I owned. I've played some others at some point, but I never owned them. They were on friends' consoles or friends' systems. So this will be a first for me. But it was definitely one of those situations where it seems that era seemed to be one of the best eras in gaming. There were so many mods out for it. The communities were thriving. Everyone was working together. Everyone was having fun.
Yeah, it definitely was. And obviously, like harkening back to, we were still in school when that game came out, weren't we? Like secondary school or
Yeah,
college around
like
that sort of time. So
finish
it was
finish
genuinely
school
a
or
good
college on
time
a
for a
Friday
gamer.
night, jump on your gaming system like your PlayStation 3 or whatever, Xbox 360, headset, some I don't know, candy or whatever, or a pizza or something, and pretty much a late night gaming session till 2 in the morning. And someone will say to me, "What's different now?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have school. That's the only difference now."
I mean,
It's
there
one
were
of those ones.
still a few flaws with COD 4. I mean, you had that stupid martyrdom perk and other bits and bobs, but it was still a very good game.
Well, no
And
game's
obviously now
perfect,
where
so
yeah, exactly. I mean, the COD community was sort of crying out for boots on the ground, but the community is now split. I mean, you've got more people that want, the space jumpy action of, Black Ops 3, which started off with Advanced Warfare, I think. And obviously, you want people that want the older titles with standard, grunts on the ground, shooting people, no one's flying around, simple kill streaks, simple weapon attachments
yeah,
and
kind
stuff
of
like that.
a simple a
Simplicity.
simple build would be fine. I can kind of
Yeah,
liken it to
exactly.
to World of Warcraft with the whole vanilla servers. People just want a simple server where they can do what they wanted to without having their new campaigns, their new DLC raids. That people are just they don't seem to be interested in it. So sometimes
No.
going back to basics is a good thing, especially when you're reworking a formula. Because Black Ops 3 felt like it was trying to be something other than a Call of Duty game. Like the campaign I thought was okay, but it didn't feel like a campaign when you finished it. The final boss was a
No,
glitch.
it was
The
ridiculous.
final boss is a virus. Sorry, I should have said spoilers if you haven't played it. But the final boss is a virus. It's just it's kind of like, well, this is an obsolete thing, so we're going to make you fight it. Does that not make you feel obsolete? It's stupid,
It just
man. It's
came out of left
stupid.
field, man. This came out of left field. I mean, like the first quarter of the campaign was good, and then after that, it just got really weird.
Plus, half the
I was
characters
like,
looked
what's
they were on
going
a
on here?
PCP binge or something. Like they were dead-eyed as hardly anything. They were just like walking around, just like, who we got
Yeah,
to shoot
especially the
now?
main character. I mean, the main antagonist was his name, that Taylor
Taylor,
guy.
Taylor, yeah,
Looks like Grant Mitchell from EastEnders.
definitely. Looks like a generic creator wrestler from like WWE 2K16 or something like that. Just like a Stone Cold Steve Austin cosplayer kind of thing. Just one of those. But it was really good though. Like those days, I heard a lot of things about it because, as I said, I'm not really a COD player myself. I'm really bad at
Yeah.
first-person shooters. I'm really bad at aiming. Just check my Uncharted 4 video if you don't believe me. Um, so that's one of those things.
Yeah, I mean,
But
safe
oh,
for us
sorry.
to say that we're not really excited for Infinite Warfare, are we? Even though
I,
it's got, zombies mode and stuff, but ugh, it's not appealing to me
it
at
it
all.
does.
I
It
mean, it's more
seems to
for Modern
be,
Warfare.
not to knock it too much, but it does seem to be the sloppy seconds of video games. We didn't want it the first time, but we'll take it because it's all we can get for now. But it's the case. It's like the Sonic syndrome. It plays on the fans' loyalty. to the series to buy the next game almost blindly without doing research. A lot of people will do research, but you'd be surprised how many people will just pick it up because it's like day one. And we'll see if there's a price drop. Hopefully it won't be like the mighty number 9 of the Call of Duty series, you know, people buying it because it's... Yeah, that was bad. Just throwing in any video game reference. Or like No Man's Sky, or as we said, Yes, the video game. The guy who made it was, the guy that made it was just saying yes to every question. It was just like, you know, this game boasts about having, you know, an infinite skyline where you can go wherever you want and interact with other players. Yes. It's like you could have asked him any question, he would have just said yes. It was like, you know, one of those situations.
I mean, it's not all the devs that are to blame. I mean, sometimes, you know, they got orders from up top to make, you know, this.
No, some people, you know, they're just trying to do their job. You know, they're trying to do the best they can do, and it's a situation where it's like, okay, well, you know, we got to get it out. It's like Battlefield 4. You know, DICE wanted more time, and they wanted to bring in beta testers. We're like, no, get it out the door now. You know, and it's just like they're sheep. They'll buy anything, and you feel bad because it's like EA. You know, they were a reputable company at one point, then they dropped like really bad. They were voted the worst company at one point in America, I think, and then they started to claw back some of their respect with some of their games. But it's still like when you look at a game like Mirror's Edge, you just stare at it and you think, I don't know, should I trust you?
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge.
I mean, it must be frustrating for the devs. I mean, if the publishers are proper pressuring them to, you know, to hurry up and rush.
They take a knockback. You know, they're just trying to finish a video game. They're just trying to do their job as best they can. People are complaining about the graphics, but at the same time, they've added all these features. I'm sure you can give them a break. They're trying, you know, and it's not their fault. They're under pressure, man. It's pressure.
Yeah, I mean, they got food to put on the table at the end of the day, so they got to do what they need to do, even if they know, like, oh crap, you know, I could do this a lot better if we've got a lot more time. But sod it, you know, time is of their essence, so I've got to keep it moving.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's just like, okay, next game, because most people think, oh, the devs just work on one game. Indie devs, maybe they'll work on one game at a time, but there are quite a lot of devs that end up having their finger in a lot of pies, so to speak. They're working on maybe 3 or 4 different games at one time. Maybe someone's coding, I don't know, a background, or someone's working on character models, and it just keeps jumping back and forth. Someone's working on the new map packs or something. They're probably doing different things for different games, and they get lost in the shuffle sometimes. It does seem to be that case, and they seem to be very genuine, so... Hopefully gaming doesn't look too bad, and hopefully Infinite Warfare won't leave a skid mark on the underpants of gaming as many people fear it to do.
So what games are you looking forward to? Like new games that are yet to be released.
Okay, short term, this Friday is the official release of the BioShock collection. This is BioShock, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite. Because I did not play them on the PlayStation 3, I feel like such an idiot for missing out on them. So I've decided to pick them up. They're all remastered in the single-player version with some add-ons, some DLC stuff, you know, not too good stuff, as I think you told me, like some of them are just shooting galleries, but it does look good for its price, for $36.49 or whatever I paid for it. It should be coming Friday, and I look forward to playing it. Kingdom Hearts 3, I mean, man, I cannot wait for that. An open world RPG Kingdom Hearts game. Where do I sign? Take my money, whatever. That's, you know, one of the biggest games I'm looking forward to. I don't know. It has not been announced yet. To change a different type of system for the Nintendo Wii U, I'm looking forward to the new Zelda game. It's really good. It's supposed to be like The Witcher, but for Zelda. It's like an open world kind of adventure game where you kill enemies, you hunt for things. It's kind of like The Witcher, but it's not The Witcher. Wow. So it's, if that makes sense.
Sounds like a big undertaking.
Yeah, I think, is it called, I've got, is it Breath of the Wind or Spirit of the Wind? Or I feel bad, I should know the name of this, but I've forgotten it. It's Breath of the Wild, Spirit of the Wind, Earth, Wind and Fire, I forget what it's called. It's got a name, but
edit the name in.
Yeah, it's called Insert Name Here. I'm really looking forward to Insert Name Here. What games are you looking forward to?
The games that I'm looking forward to, I mean, it's obviously, you know, Modern Warfare, remaster, which, you know, COD 4 remaster. I mean, once that goes separately on sale, as well as Resident Evil 7. I mean, I'm looking forward to playing that when that comes next year. I like how they're announcing games lately. I mean, Fallout 4. I mean, they announced it at E3. I think it was like last year, and then like it came out the following autumn. You know, that's how you should announce games. You shouldn't announce a game and then wait like 3 or 4 years to play it. It
Yeah.
depends on what type of game it
The only
is. I mean,
game
if
I can find the exception
yeah,
to would be Grand Theft Auto 5. That was a game that was in development for about 5 years, from 2008 to 2013, but it was worth the wait by comparison. The game gets a bit boring sometimes once you've covered everything.
yeah,
And the online play is quite fun. But if you've seen the character models of what Michael, Franklin, and Trevor looked like before, it was a complete turnover. The graphics is like, wow. Another game I'm looking forward to is Gwent, which is, for those that don't know, is going to be the spin-off game to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is the card game that's in the game will actually be its own standalone. That could
oh, I
be
forgot
interesting.
about that.
I only just remembered. It looked
Yeah,
really good,
that's
to be
same in it.
fair. Like, it does
Yeah,
look
it looks
promising,
really
you
good.
know. I like the idea of them bringing the card game to a full, set where you'll have new cards, new decks. You'll be able to switch up the lineup. It won't be structured as it won't be forced in or boxed in as much. You'll have a bit more freedom, and hopefully it will have some of the features that made The Witcher a really good game. Because I've not even finished it yet. I've only played
Yeah,
probably about 15 to 20 hours. I'm nowhere near
yeah.
finished with that.
I've still got Blood and Wine to finish. They're reworking a lot of things that we already know about Gwent, maybe changing a few rules here and there,
And that's how
just so
gaming
it's more
development
fair.
should be done. You should take an idea and you
Exactly.
keep tweaking it and adding to it until you've made it as good as you can without then going overkill on it. If something works, as long as it works and it's done well, I would rather a game be done well and actually have no problems than a game trying to aim above its station and it just falls on its arse. Okay, guys, that is it. We are calling this a wrap. This is the first podcast of Level Up. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed. I've been Heracross Gaming.
And I've been the